What would happen to wildlife if humans disappeared? Imagine for a moment a world without humans. No bustling cities, no industrial factories, no constant hum of cars or airplanes. What would become of the wildlife if humans suddenly disappeared? In the immediate aftermath, domesticated animals would face the brunt. Pets locked indoors would sadly perish, while those outdoors would have to quickly adapt or die. Farm animals, too, unable to fend for themselves, would struggle to survive. However, not all would be lost. Some domesticated animals, like dogs and cats, would revert to their wild instincts. They would form packs and prides, hunting and scavenging to survive. Their population numbers would dwindle initially, but stabilize over time. Meanwhile, in our cities, nature would start to reclaim its space. Buildings would crumble, roads would crack, and plants would take over. This would create new habitats for wildlife, allowing a multitude of species to thrive in areas once dominated by humans. Without human interruption, forests would grow, and previously endangered species could rebound. The cessation of hunting and deforestation would allow these species to repopulate and flourish, leading to increased biodiversity. In the oceans, too, life would surge. With no more fishing, marine species populations would explode. Coral reefs, free from pollution and climate change, would recover and become vibrant ecosystems once again. On the other hand, animals that are highly dependent on humans, like rats and pigeons, would see a significant decline. Without our waste to feed on, they would have to adapt or risk extinction. Changes would also ripple through the food chain. As the populations of some species surge and others plummet, predators and prey relationships would shift dramatically, creating a ripple effect throughout ecosystems. Insects, nature's great survivors, would proliferate. Without pesticides and habitat destruction, their populations would swell. This would provide ample food for insect-eating species, triggering another shift in the ecological balance. Meanwhile, without human-induced climate change, global temperatures would stabilize. Polar ice would stop melting, saving polar bears and penguins from extinction. Sea levels would stabilize, preserving coastal ecosystems. In the skies, bird life would flourish. Without skyscrapers and airplanes, bird populations would increase dramatically. Migratory patterns disrupted by human activity would go back to normal, contributing to the restoration of many ecosystems. In contrast, some species might not fare as well. Those that have adapted to thrive in human-altered environments, like crows and seagulls, might find it harder to survive without us. Their populations could decline, or they could adapt to the new world. Ultimately, in the absence of humans, wildlife would undergo massive changes. There would be winners and losers, but overall, biodiversity would likely increase. The Earth would slowly heal from the scars of human activity, becoming a wilder, richer place. However, this doesn't mean we should disappear. Instead, we should learn to coexist with nature, reducing our impact, preserving habitats, and fostering biodiversity. After all, we're part of this ecosystem too, and our survival depends on its health and diversity. So, as we look towards the future, let's remember our responsibility towards our planet's wildlife. By caring for it, we're not only preserving their world, but ours as well. And that's a world worth fighting for.